Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Kimberly, and it has taken me way longer than a week to get this video done. In fact, I'm probably sitting on a week as I'm shooting this. Ugh. I have some exciting news which has led to this video, although to be honest, I've wanted to do this video in the past on this particular subject, but I'm doing it right now for a very specific reason. In about a week's time, maybe 2 weeks, I will be welcoming a new kitten home to our family, and I am super excited. This is a decision that I did not take lightly. Originally I had planned on being a one-cat household for now, but with my current cat, who is 3 years old, Gumball, he has been showing me signs that he would really do much better, mentally speaking, having a friend. So I decided I would go and just sort of put some feelers out, see if I could find a kitten, and the perfect kitten popped up, and so now I've just been waiting until she's of age to come home. So I'm super excited about that. But that leads me to what our video is about and what I'm talking about today, which, if you follow us on Facebook, I have actually made a written post about this before in the past, so I'm going to kind of go off that because obviously my opinions are exactly the same. So what is that about? Impulse control. And as I've mentioned prior, Bull Terriers tend to have a lot of trouble with impulse control. They tend to be extremely emotionally impulsive, puppies and adults. And you may be asking, what does this have to do with a kitten? Well, Druid, my youngest, who is 17 months old now, has never been around kittens. Druid's only familiar with Gumball, who is an adult cat when she came in, so a kitten is going to definitely be something new for her. And Druid is very emotionally impulsive. She is far more emotionally impulsive than Nichols was. So one of the things that I've been brushing up on ever since I found out that I was in fact bringing home a kitten was impulse control. So in my opinion, that's very important for if you know you're going to be bringing in a new baby, a new kitten, a new puppy, a new pet of any sort. Working on impulse control can be extremely helpful in that regard, because one of the things that you really worry about with dogs around new things is the impulse to chase, the impulse to jump up, the impulse to grab maybe, just a lot of impulsiveness. So one of the best things you can do if you know you're going to be bringing in something like that is to start working on controlling that impulse and teaching them just because you feel the impulse to do something doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to be allowed to do that, and it kind of makes them second guess. So they may originally be like, I'm gonna, but then if you say, they may say, okay, I know, I'm not supposed to be doing this. So I know a lot of people have problems with impulse control, especially with their puppies. So this is going to be very general as far as how to help your dog and help work in better impulse control. So one note I want to make is the younger the dog is, the shorter your sessions need to be, because a young puppy just doesn't have the mental capacity to hold their impulses or their emotions in check for as long as an adult dog can, or even an adult dog that just started. It can be very hard. Holding your emotional impulses for anybody, if you're not used to it, is something that takes work, and it takes control, and it takes willpower. And so when you're first starting a dog on these things, don't expect them to give you a lot. Take it in increments. Take it a little bit at a time. Number one, teach a focus command. Now a focus command is super easy to teach, honestly. I love teaching puppies a focus command. This is something that pretty much most dogs will give you, and it's something that pretty much most bull terriers will give you. They may fight a little bit, but for the most part, if you present them with a treat in a closed hand that they do not have free access to get, if you just let them sort of paw at your hand and maybe nip at your hand and don't give them the treat, wait, they will eventually give you eye contact as if to say, what do I do? You open your hand, you present the treat. It's that simple. You can pair a clicker with it, you can pair a marker, yes, good, with it, but it's just that simple. You just take a treat in a closed fist, present it to them, let them know the treat is in there. They're gonna paw at your hand, they might nip at your hand a little bit, but if you just hold firm and don't give them that treat until they give you eye contact, even just a second of eye contact, yes, reward, open, give them the treat. Eventually you work up, but this is a very basic way of helping teach your dog some impulse control, because their impulse is just gimme, 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 gimme. They want that food. So when you do not give them that until they stop trying and they say, what do you need? So that's something that I love to do with puppies. It's super easy for puppies. You don't have to tell them anything. You don't have to ask them anything. You just present this challenge of how are you going to get this food, and teach them that they can give it, or that they can get it from you by giving you a specific behavior, which is attention. It's super easy. And like I said, with puppies, even just that quick look up what you're gonna get, and then you just keep playing on that, and you'll eventually get a puppy that does like this bobblehead thing before eventually they'll give you a nice long focus because they know what is expected of them. Another one is place command. Place command is a command where you choose a place, usually something very clear and obvious. I like an elevated pet bed. You can use just a crate mat, you can use a pillow, you can use a room, a spot, anything. Teach your dog to go to that place and to stay on that place. They have to keep their body on that place, no matter what's going on around them, no matter if you're walking around the room, no matter if you're cooking dinner, doesn't matter if you've got another dog walking around, doesn't matter if you're eating a sandwich, doesn't matter. If you tell your dog to go to their place, they stay on that place until you tell them specifically that they can get up. This is something that takes a lot of time to work on, but is extremely mentally challenging for any dog, because they have to learn to ignore what's going on around them and to focus on just staying in their place. Now, when you work with a puppy or when you work with a dog, even for the first few weeks, if you do this every single day, keep it short, because this is very challenging. So don't have a lot of distractions in. Only ask them for short spurts of holding it. If they start to get bored and they're just like, I can't do this anymore, release them, because bull terriers especially have a very short attention span. It can be very difficult for them. Another way that you can help this is if you do this when they're ready to naturally take a nap, that can be much more helpful for them, because they're already too tired to really get up and go. Keep distractions to a minimum. Bring in distractions as your dog builds better and better impulse control. Have rules and boundaries for play. This sounds pretty obvious, but I actually see a lot of people who don't really know what that means, to have a lot of rules and boundaries during play, or I see people tend to take it a little too far. For example, people who play tug with their dog and say, I'll never let my dog win. Come on, man, let your dog win. Come on. It's not fun if you never win, if you never get the reward of the toy, okay? Let your dog win every once in a while. Let them play. Have fun, you know. Mutual respect. A game of tug is a game of mutual respect. But what I do mean by rules and boundaries is take how I play with my dogs, for example. So number one, there are certain games that I start. Tug, for example, I start the game, I end the game. When I'm done, I'm done. Flirt pole, I start it, I end it. These are games that I only allow my dogs to engage with me, usually during training, but I start them, I finish them. I finish them on a good note. Usually I finish with the dog winning, and then I'll call them, give them a couple of pats, and like, yeah, good job, all right, give me the toy, we're gonna, you know, that's it. But another rule that I have for our games is when I'm holding a toy, when I'm holding a ball, if I'm holding a tug, if I'm holding a chew toy, dogs are not allowed to grab that from me, ever, unless I give them the okay directly, unless I say, okay, you don't touch that toy. If I pick a ball up and I bounce it, you don't run up and grab it. If I have a tug and I put it into your mouth, you don't touch that until I say okay. Now the reason that I do this is because, number one, it's a big safety measure, and if you have a child, for example, a little kid come over, or if you have children and they take the dog's toy and they're holding it, and you don't want an accidental bite. A dog may just be having fun and playing and going for the toy and accidentally get a child's hand. That can cause a lot of damage. They can cause a lot of damage to you if they get overexcited and they go to grab a toy and instead they grab a finger. So a big rule for me is when I pick up a toy, when I touch a toy, unless I give you the okay, you don't touch it. You don't grab at it. You don't jump at it. You don't bark at me for it. You don't touch that toy until I specifically say okay and I give you the release word. So that is a big rule for me, and I do that for safety reasons, but this also helps in teaching impulse control because your dog can't just impulsively grab. Now with dogs being predatory animals, when they see motion, it's very easy for them to just grab because that's natural instinct. They're predatory animals. They're attracted to motion. Motion excites them. It gets them worked up. And they have to learn to control that until I give them the okay. Now if you have a sport dog, that might be a little bit different. But right now I'm just talking about pets. So that is some of the rules that I like to put into place and I like to practice while we play in a fun way. Their reward for complying and not grabbing from me is we can keep playing. Because obviously if you accidentally bite my hand and I'm bleeding or it's painful, I don't want to play with you anymore. The game ends. And I'm not doing that to be mean, it's because I freaking hurt. So their reward for playing good is we play. That's their reward. That's the reward for listening. If I pick up a tug and you jump at it, I'm going to hold it a little longer until you stop jumping at it. And then once you stop jumping at it, I will offer it back to you and we can play some more. Stay. A stay command. This seems very obvious, I'm sure. This is very similar to the place command, but stay command is another one of those things that it just works on your dog's impulses. So everybody pretty much knows how to do stay. You know, stay is a pretty simple one. Practice it whenever you feel like. If you want to sit down and bowl of food and tell your dog to stay, do it. If you want to toss a toy across the room and ask your dog to stay until you give them the okay to go get it, awesome. Those are definitely good ways of helping to teach your dog impulse control and teach them to have tolerance for holding back those emotions so that they don't just, okay, I have to do this right now. So they can say, oh, I gotta wait for it, I gotta wait for it, I gotta wait for it. Because good things happen when they wait for it, right? Start small. If your dog can only hold a stay for like 5 seconds, that's great. That is amazing, okay? And then you can slowly build up over the course of weeks, months. This is a big one for Bull Terriers specifically because Bull Terriers can become hyper-focused and they can almost become addicted to being mentally active, being physically active. A very important thing is to schedule downtime for your dogs, whether they be puppies, whether they be adults, whether they be seniors. You need to help schedule chill out time. Generally, I like to schedule chill out time for when I first wake up, when we first wake up and start the day. I'll schedule enough time for me to drink my first cup of coffee. After that, we go out on a walk, we go crazy, we exercise, we play, we train, we do all this stuff, we drain our energy, we come home, and I schedule downtime again because I'm tired and I want them to chill because they just released all their energy out on this walk. They should physically and mentally be maybe not exhausted, but they should definitely feel the need to chill out, at which point I will also feed them, and they need to chill out for that because I don't want them getting sick, throwing up because they're running around getting overheated, throw up their dinners. So I have downtime when we first wake up, which is us just sort of puttering around. We're not doing anything, we're just hanging out. We go on, we do our exercise, we come back, we do the same thing. We have downtime. We take a nap, putz around the house. We don't do anything. We don't play, we don't train, we don't do anything. We just hang out, do nothing. This is very important. If you have a dog who has trouble chilling out, maybe they're panting heavily, running around the house, don't want to sit still, that would be a good time to utilize place command, asking your dog to place. Maybe asking your dog to go in their crate and take a nap. Maybe asking them to go into another room and chill out. And just encouraging them to relax. Maybe you have a Kong that you can have them, chew on or whatever. Just schedule some downtime for your dog because that is super important and it can definitely help your dog learn that they don't have to be on the go all the time. Now, this may not apply to everyone. This may apply to only some of you, but if you let your dog off lead anywhere, be it friends, doggy daycare, dog park, the woods, teach your dog a sit or wait or stay command when you let them off lead. Because I say this, no particular reason other than letting a dog off lead to go crazy and to go have fun and go do things. That is very rewarding, right? So it's very stimulating, it's very rewarding. That is like a huge reward to them. Use it as a reward, okay? Letting your dog off lead, use it as a reward. So instead of just letting them tear off and go, ask them to sit, ask them to stay, ask them to wait. Because you have this huge motivator right here, use it. It's a good way to help motivate your dog. It's something easy. If it's something that you do all the time, just use it as a reward. Your dog won't know any better other than I get to go play, and you can just say, hey, before you go play, do something for me first and then you'll go. Okay? So like sit, maybe stay, maybe give me a good focus, whatever. Just ask them to stay because you can use that as a reward. It's like a freebie reward here. It's a big reward. It's very rewarding. And it also can help your dog's impulse control. Because your dog wants to go, they want to run, they want to go be free, do whatever. And this is a way to say, okay, hold on. And they say, oh God, I gotta wait, I gotta hold on, I gotta control myself. And then you can let them go. And when they control themselves, they get rewarded with this huge reward. So definitely utilize that as a reward for that reason. Brain games. So I say this because brain games are important. Mental stimulation is important. Not all energy draining exercise needs to be physical. You can have brain games and scheduling time for mentally stimulating activities, because when you physically exercise your dog, you're building their stamina to be able to go more, to go farther, to go longer. It's not necessarily something that you always want, right? So when you have a high energy dog, and let's say for example, you're not feeling well, you're sick, maybe you have the flu, and your dog is like, I need a walk now. That's all I've had my whole life, I need a walk now. And you're like, oh God, I can't give you a walk right now. I feel miserable. I have things to do. I have to go somewhere. Using mental stimulation as a form of helping to exercise your dog and keep your dog entertained is very good for them. It can help with impulsiveness because your dog can learn to just think as opposed to go and do. So definitely scheduling mental activities can be very helpful in the long run, and it can be very helpful in teaching your dog that they don't always have to just impulsively go and do. So I hope that this was helpful. I hope that this video kind of gave you a good understanding of impulse control and some of the things you can do to kind of help out. Now, again, doing these things every day isn't going to fix your dog like that. It is going to help over time. You're going to find that your dog is a little less impulsive, or maybe not even less impulsive so much as you will have better control over the impulse, over the emotionalness, over the I need to do right now. Bull Terriers are always going to be emotionally impulsive. They're always going to be impulsive. It's just a matter of teaching them how to control that, because this is a skill. It's a skill for children, it's a skill for humans, it's a skill for dogs, it's a skill for anything to learn how to control our emotions, right? So I hope that these are very helpful. When I get my kitten, I am going to show you what I do to introduce dogs and cats, because I've had a lot of people ask me about that, and I feel like it's super important to kind of show you basically some body language. And personally, I'll be very interested to see how Druid does, because with Nichols and Caesar it was easy. I have a feeling Druid's not going to be as easy because she's very emotionally impulsive, right? So she's still young. We're always working on the emotional impulsiveness. And she definitely does not have a handle on her emotions right now. So that's okay. She's young. That's just who she is. That just means I have to work for her in making sure that, you know, that I know what she needs when she needs it. But with that being said, I have a feeling this video was like way long. But I will definitely show you guys the process from day one when we bring the kitten in, what I do, some of the things that I do, and how I help bring cats and dogs together. And so that we don't have a household where the dog is constantly chasing the cat and the cat is constantly freaking out, and just, you know, that's not a household that I think is very fun for anybody, especially the cat or the dog if the cat starts beating up. But I don't think we're going to have a problem with the cat beating up on a dog. I think we're going to have a problem with the dog wanting to chase the cat around because because that's Druid. But anyways, I will definitely show you guys when I bring the kitten in, and we'll just have a good time and we'll just see what happens. You know, I can't say that she's going to be perfect. I can't say that, you know, everything's going to go splendidly. So that'll be the fun for you guys, is you guys will get to sort of see what actually happens and how to actually deal with real world situations, because I know a lot of people, you don't have it easy when you want to bring in a cat, right? You have Bull Terriers that are like batshit bouncing off the walls and being like, I want to chase, I want to chase. Maybe they want to eat it. Maybe she'll want to eat it. God, I hope not. Let's pray like hell that doesn't happen, but we'll see. Anyways, I will see you guys in my next video. This has probably gone on for fucking ever. And, yeah, I hope this was helpful. And if you guys have any more, if you guys got any questions, leave them in the comments below. Check out our Facebook. Check out my Instagram if you guys like nice pictures, I guess. But anyways,